Good afternoon, everyone. Please mark your attendance by sending yes in the chat box. If I am audible to you and my screen is visible, then please send me message from your side. Okay, in the last lecture we have defined the inverse function for functions which are one-to-one and onto, and we have proved there one theorem regarding that inverse function. And what was that theorem? If inverse of any function exists, then inverse is again one-to-one and onto for any function if its inverse exists. And we know when inverse exists, then if given function is one-to-one and onto, then its inverse exists. And if that inverse exists, then it is again one-to-one and onto. And we know what is meant by, I think there is a gap between these concepts. So let me clear what is meant by one-to-one and onto mappings. What is meant by onto mapping? If we have any, again clear one more thing, function and mapping both are nothing but the same things. So when we say function, it is also mapping is also said to be the function. So when we say that any mapping or function is onto domain, codomain, these are the concepts regarding this. Okay, Pooja Naiknavre is there or not? Yes. Yes. So what is meant by onto function? Onto function means for each element in the second set, that means codomain. Each element in the codomain has pre-image in the domain. दुसऱ्या सेट मधल्या इलेमेंट साठी पहिल्या सेट मध्ये एक तरी इलेमेंट एक्झिस्ट झाला पाहिजे ज्याचा इमेज तोच इलेमेंट मला दिसेल. So that type of mappings are said to be the onto mappings. One-to-one mappings means if we take any two elements from the first set which are distinct, then they have distinct images in the second set, or equal images in the second set have equal pre-images in the first set. This type of mappings are said to be the one-to-one mappings. And if mapping is both one-to-one as well as onto, then we can say that mapping is nothing but the one-to-one correspondence between first set and second set. Okay, and if mapping is one-to-one and onto, then we can define its inverse. And if its inverse exists, it is again one-to-one and onto. So if we have function and its inverse, both are nothing but the one-to-one and onto mappings. So last theorem we have proved there that it is nothing but the, for any function if its inverse exists, it is again one-to-one and onto. One more theorem is there regarding this inverse function. whatever inverse exists for any function f, it should be unique. So next theorem we are going to prove that inverse of any function, if it exists, it is nothing but the unique there. So we are starting today's lecture by taking first theorem of uniqueness of inverse function. So let me start to write on the screen. Okay, if there is any problem, you can message me either on WhatsApp group or in the app itself regarding visibility of screen and I am audible to you or not. So in that case, you have to send message to me. Okay, so I am starting this theorem. The inverse of a function if it exists is a unique. The inverse of a function, if it exists, is unique. Okay. The inverse of a function, if it exists, is unique. Let me write in terms of function. In other words, if f is function from a to b is 1 1 on 2, is 1 1 on 2. If any function f from a to b is 1 1 on 2, then inverse of f is unique. So in the second statement, I am writing f is nothing but the function from a to b, which is 1 to 1 and on 2. Then inverse of f is unique. Already in the above theorem, we have proved inverse exists, and for 1 to 1 and on 2 mapping, inverse exists, and it is again 1 1 and on 2. Now in this theorem, we are going to prove there that whatever inverse is there for f, that inverse is nothing but the mapping from b to a, and that mapping is nothing but the unique mapping. There is at most one mapping from b to a which is inverse of this f. So this is the statement, and now we have to prove this thing. So let me start with given function. So let f from a to b be a. Okay, it is given to us. It is 1 to 1 and on 2. Be a 1 to 1 on 2 function. F is given from a to b, and it is 1 to 1 and on 2 function. It is given to us. And now we have to prove its inverse exists. Already it is proved in above theorem. Just we have to prove uniqueness of that inverse. So let me assume there are two functions which are inverses of f, and then finally we have to conclude that whatever functions we are assuming which are inverses of this f, they are equal there. So assume, suppose that let me write g. as a inverse of F. So it is inverse of F. So it should be mapping from second set to first set, that means B to A. Suppose that G from B to A, this is first mapping that we are assuming here inverse of F, and again second H is mapping from B to A. Suppose that G and H be the inverses of F. Okay, we have assumed G and H are nothing but the inverses of F, and now our claim is nothing but the G and H must be same for the uniqueness of these inverses. हे दोघं G आणि H हे दोघं मी काय अज्युम केलेत की F चे इन्व्हर्सेस आहेत असं अज्युम केलेत मी एकापेक्षा जास्त मॅपिंग घेतल्यात B to A पर्यंत आणि त्यांना मी इन्व्हर्सेस म्हणतो F चे, आणि फायनली मला काय दिसलं पाहिजे तिकडे की these two mappings are nothing but the same. Then in that case we can say that inverse of F is nothing but the unique. Now we have to prove these two mappings are nothing but the same. So to prove, F, sorry, not F, it is G and H. G is equals to H. That is, let me write here, G of B must be same as H of B. Both G and H are mappings defined from B to A. So when we take images under G and H, they are images of elements of B. So this small b is nothing but the, okay, for every small b belongs to capital B. This is our aim. This is our aim that we have to prove. मला G आणि H हे दोघं सारखे आहेत असं दाखवायचं. And already we defined there that when we say that two mappings are equal, they must be defined on the same domain, and images under domain and codomain must be same for these two mappings, and images for each element in the first set, images should be equal under both the mappings. Then in that case we can say that G and H are nothing but the equal mappings. That means we have to prove G of B is equals to H of B. Okay, just let me check everything is okay or not. Please give me reply. Please give me reply by sending yes in the message box. Everything is going smoothly and it is okay to everyone. Whatever I am saying here, you are audible to me. Sorry, I am audible to you, and screen is also okay there. Yes. So I am starting again same discussion. Okay, so I continue again. Okay. So we have to prove G of B must be equals to H of B. G of B must be equals to H of B. Okay. So for this, let G of B, it is image of element of capital B, and it is nothing but the element of A. So suppose we are assuming that image of B under G is nothing but the element A1 in capital A, and again for the same element B, its image under H is nothing but the element of capital A. Suppose we are taking that element as an A2, or that element is nothing but the A2 there. We don't know that A1 and A2 are equal or unequal. Just Okay, students, let me know I am again connected here or not, and I have again shared screen, so it is visible or not, and I am audible to you or not. Please reply me if I am audible to you. Please reply me. Okay, okay. So I have connected again. Okay, so I am continuing. Hmm? My screen is there or not? Yes. So let me continue. Okay. Okay. So we are writing proof. So we have assumed there that there are two inverses for F. So for each element in the set B, we are taking images under G and H. So already we have taken that images, and we have assumed here that image of B under G is nothing but the small a1, and image of B under H is nothing but the a2. Huh? Okay. So okay. Now since G is inverse of F, and your B is equals to A1, comma, we must have, see, image of B under G is nothing but the A1, but G is inverse of F. That means image of A1 under F is nothing but the B. आपण असंच डिफाइन बघा की f of x is nothing but the y. Then what is f inverse of y? What is f inverse? It is x. But in this case, we are assuming this f inverse as g. Huh? We are assuming it as a g. That means instead of f inverse, I am writing g here. So g of y is equals to x. G of y is equals to x. But what is y? But what is y? It is but the f of x, because g is inverse of f. Instead of this f inverse, I am using here letter g. So if g of y is equals to x, then f of x must be y. Please understand this concept. If g of y is equals to x, then f of x, because g is inverse of f, then f of x must be y. So that concept I am using here. Huh? So g is inverse of f and g of b is nothing but the a1. So we must have there image of a1. Image of a1 under f must be this b. Okay. Similarly, using same thing, because h of b is equals to a2 and h is inverse of f. So f of a2, see here, a2 is nothing but the image of b under h, but h is inverse of f. So image of a2 under f must be b. So these two statements we have here for g of b equals to a1 and h of b is equals to a2. Because g and h are inverses of f, image of small a1 under f is nothing but the b, and image of small a2 under f is nothing but the b. So using this we continue there. Therefore, if you understood these two things, f of a1 is equals to b and f of a2 is equals to b, then I am continuing here. Therefore, this b, which is f of a1 and b is also equals to f of a2. So we have f of a1 is equals to a2, and hence, or since Okay, already f is given as 1 to 1 and onto. Since f is 1 to 1, after getting f of a1 is equals to f of a2, I am writing this next sentence. Because f of a1 is equals to f of a2, that means equal images I am taking under f, or we have equal images under f in the second set, which is b. But f is nothing but the 1 to 1 mapping. Since f is 1 to 1 mapping, 1 mapping, comma, because it is 1 to 1 mapping, small f is 1 to 1 mapping, equal images under f have equal pre-images. So we have a1 is equals to a, f of a1 is equals to f of a2 we have there, and from this we are writing directly a1 is equals to a2 because f is 1 to 1 mapping. Because f is 1 to 1 mapping, equal images have equal pre-images. F of a1 equals to f of a2. असं जेव्हा मी म्हणतोय, I am saying they are equal images under f, and from that I am writing a1 is equals to a2 because our f is nothing but the 1 to 1. For 1 to 1 mapping, you can write in this way: f of a1 is equals to f of a2 implies there a1 is equals to a2. So we got a1 is equals to a2. But what is a1 and what is a2? Therefore, g of b, we have taken this as a1, but a1 is same as a2. And what is a2? It is nothing but the image of b under h, and this implies g of b is equals to h of b, and this we are taking for all small b. Small b we have taken their arbitrary element of b. So we got g of b is equals to h of b for each element in the set b. G and h both are defined from capital B to A. So for each element of capital B, we have g of b is equals to h of b. That means these two mappings are equal mapping. So thus g is equals to h. And what are this g and h? We have assumed g and h are nothing but the inverses of f, but these are not two. This is nothing but only one function. G and h, this is nothing but the same function. So whatever inverses are there, they are nothing but the unique. So this is the statement. This is the proof of this theorem. So let me write. Consequently, the inverse of f is unique. मी f चे दोन इन्व्हर्स मानले होते, g and h, पण फायनली मला काय दिसायला लागलं, g and h आर सेम. म्हणजे तुम्ही किती इन्व्हर्स तुम्ही अज्युम करा f साठी, ते तुम्हाला शेवटी सारखेच दिसतील. दॅट मीन्स the inverse of f is nothing but always unique. So hereafter we can directly say that for any 1 to 1 and onto mapping, its inverse exists always, and if it exists, then it is always unique there. So these two theorems gives us this statement: inverse of any 1 to 1 and onto mapping is always unique there. So this is the proof of this theorem. All of you understood this proof or not? Let me know. Okay, all of you understood this or not? And I think I have after this disconnection of internet, I have taken access of internet from my Wi-Fi. So I think there may be problem of there may be some problem while speaking here by taking this Wi-Fi network. So let me know you understood this proof or not. Okay, so I think everything is going smoothly. So shall I start next topic, that is composition of mappings? If everything is okay, let me start next topic. So I am going to start next important concept about the functions. From last 2-3 lectures, I am giving title to our lecture, that is composition of mappings or composition of functions or product of functions. So I have to define composition of mappings now. Okay, so I am going to define so give heading composition or you can also call product of two functions. Firstly, while defining this definition, I am using two functions, and then later on you can generalize this concept there. So composition or product of two functions. Composition or product of two functions. So let me discuss firstly in terms of diagrams. So suppose we have any function f from a to b, a to b is nothing but b, and suppose same set b I am taking here, and then b2, suppose this is nothing but the set c, and suppose we have another function g, and suppose I have here elements 1, 2, 3 and 4, and suppose in the set capital B, suppose we have A, B, C, these are the three elements. Same set I am taking here, so it is A, B, C, and let me take here, suppose these are the L, M, N, okay, and let me map these elements. Suppose image of 1 is nothing but the B, image of 2 is nothing but the A, image of 3 is again B, and image of 4 is nothing but the C. Each element in the first set have a unique element in the second set, okay, and suppose under this G, map G takes A to, suppose M, it takes to N, and suppose C is going towards N. Now I have to take image of each element in the first set under both the mappings F and G. If domain and codomain are same there, domain of second function must be equal to domain of second function. Then we can take image of each element in the A under both the mappings towards the C. So suppose we have to take image of image of 1, image of 1 under both the mappings. So 1 goes to, let me write here, 1 goes to B under F. I am writing in this way, under F, and then B goes to image of B under G. What is that? See here, image of B is nothing but the L under G. So this is nothing but the L. That means 1 is mapped to L, but under which mapping? It is nothing but the F composition G. Let me correct this thing. It is not F composition G. Let me write. It is G composition F. It is nothing but the G composition F. And then we are calling this G composition F. I'm denoting in this way. See here. I'm writing it is G composition, small circle. It is G composition. I am using small circle here. What problem is there? And this is said to be the product of two functions. This is product of two functions. Let me take image of. Okay, it is function from G composition F is nothing but the function from first set A under F. Images of A are in the set B, and then from B, G takes elements of B to C. So this is nothing but the mapping from A to C, and it is said to be the composition. Composition, or you can say product. It is composition or product. Composition or product of F and G. F and G. You are getting everything or not? Whatever discussion I have taken here, you got that discussion or not? Reply me quickly. I am defining F composition G or G composition F. I am defining here product of two functions F and G. I am defining product of F and G. I am saying also composition of F and G. I am defining here there is problem, network problem. I have taken F from capital A to B, and again we have another function G. It is defined from B to C, but domain of G is equal to codomain of F. Domain of B is equals to just a minute. I am connecting our connection with wire connection. So just a minute. Okay, now let me again know I am audible to you and my screen is there or not. Reply me fast. Okay, we have again wire connection here. So let me know I am audible to you or not and screen is visible or not. Okay. So see here, we have discussed here, f is nothing but the function from a to b, then g is nothing but the function from b to c. दुसऱ्या फंक्शनचा डोमेन म्हणजे पहिला सेट आणि पहिल्या फंक्शनचा दुसरा सेट हे दोघं सारखे असतील तर मला दुसऱ्या सेटचे इलेमेंट आणखी पुढे घेऊन जाता येतील दुसऱ्या मॅपिंगच्या अंडर. हां, सो एफ इज नथिंग बट द मॅपिंग फ्रॉम ए टू बी. दिस बी is same with first set of this second function. So under this G we are taking again images of these elements, and that we have taken here in this way. We have taken first element. Again let me write images of each element in this diagrammatical representation, and see we are denoting in this way G composition F. जी अगोदर लिहितो एफ नंतर लिहितो, जो मॅपिंग मला अगोदर अप्लाय करायचा तो नंतर लिहितो. हां, सो इट इज जी composition F I am reading here, or it is product of two functions and it is mapping from A to C. See here I am writing here, it is mapping from A to C. It is mapping from first set of first mapping to second set of second mapping there, म्हणजे A to C. So it is mapping from A to C, that means we have to take image of each element from capital A. So take image of 1 firstly. So how we take this image? See here, it is nothing but the G and then it is f of 1. That means we first take image of this 1 under f. What is image of 1 under f? From this diagrammatical representation, what is image of 1 under f? It is nothing but the B. And what is image of B under G? What is image of small b under G? It is nothing but the L. So this is image of first element in the set A. Again G composition of F of second element. How we apply this composition on this element 2? We keep G outside. We first take image of 2 under this F. What is image of 2 under F? What is image of 2 under F? It is A, small a, and then G is mapping from B to C. So what is image of this small a under G? बघा G चा मॅपिंग बघा, G मॅपिंग बघा तुम्ही, A चा इमेज चाललाय तिकडे M ला. So this is nothing but the image of 2 under this composition, under this product. Similarly for third element 3, image of this 3 under this composition, we first apply F on 3. So F on 3 and then G. What is F of 3? See diagram. What is F of 3? Under F, what is image of 3? It is B. हा G बाहेरचा तसाच, it is B. But what is G of B? See mapping G from B to C. What is G of B? It is L. It is L. So in this way we are taking images there under this product, and one more element is there. It is G composition F of this 4. It is nothing but the G as it is. Then it is F of 4. First of all we are taking image of 4 under F. What is F of 4? It is C. Then image of C under G is nothing but the L. So for this total discussion we have there G composition F is nothing but the mapping from A to C. And how many elements are there in A? There are 4 elements. Again let me represent here this composition by new diagram. So this is the mapping there. This is our set A and this is our set C. This is A, and then this mapping is there. and this mapping is nothing but this is new mapping, and it is nothing but the G composition F. Means we are multiplying these two functions, not in the general way, but by keeping in mind these are the functions. We are taking product of two functions. Product of two functions is nothing but the again function. Product of two functions is nothing but the again function. It is new function, and its definition is nothing but the in terms of old functions F and G. What are the elements in C? They are L, M and N. And by this calculation, what are the images? One goes to L, then 2 goes to M. I am taking help of this calculation here. What is image of 3? It is again L. And what is image of 4? It is nothing but the N. So product of two functions is nothing but the again new function, and which is defined if and only if. See, what is necessary condition to define product of two functions? Observe here these two functions. Our first function F is nothing but the mapping from A to B, and again second function is nothing but the mapping from B to C. That means second set of F is same as first set of B, and then we are defining this mapping and we are denoting it by taking second function firstly. That means G composition F. G small circle F is nothing but the new mapping, and which is defined from first set of F to second set of G, and that we have represented here. See here. So this is the composition of two mappings there. I have not yet written definition. I have firstly discussed this with the help of diagram, and we have these calculations, all these calculations, and then we define its definition. So if you have written everything, whatever I have written here, we write definition in the next lecture of composition or product of two functions. Okay, everyone understood this concept of composition of mappings or not? Now I am going to stop lecture. Before stopping my lecture, let me download attendance. Okay, please everyone, while leaving this meeting, please give one message, type yes in the chat box, and then you can leave this meeting. You understood this concept or not of composition of mappings? Already we have studied it in the 12th and as well as in the calculus part. In the calculus we have composition G small circle F, F small circle F, G. But again we want this in algebra while studying our topics, composition of mappings. So we have this topic in the syllabus. So we have taken again this, and there are 2-3 theorems which gives us very important idea to define our small part of algebra, that is nothing but the group. We have taken motivation from that theorems. So now I am stopping my lecture, so you can leave this meeting.